What if I told you you're not missing because your gun is wrong? You're not missing because your reflexes are slow. You're not even missing because you need more practice. You're missing because you're practicing the wrong things. And that's a dangerous trap, because every time you miss, you think, I need more lead. I need to swing faster. I need to try harder. But what if the problem isn't effort? What if the problem is your process? That's exactly what Don Currie discovered. And that's why he became one of the most respected shotgun coaches in America. Not because he teaches tricks, not because he teaches shortcuts, but because he teaches a system. A system built around 3 simple words: focus, movement, faith. Sounds simple. But these 3 words have transformed thousands of shooters. And today, I'm going to break down the real Don Currie method. The method that separates shooters who hope from shooters who know. Let's get into it. Rule number 1, shooting starts with your eyes, not your gun. Most shooters think shooting is a gun sport. Don Currie disagrees. He believes shooting is primarily a visual sport. And this is where most people lose targets. Not at the trigger, not at the swing, not at the lead, at the eyes. Because here's what happens. Target appears. Your eyes panic. Your focus becomes soft. You start checking the barrel, looking at the bead, looking back at the target, looking back at the gun. And now your brain is receiving broken information. The shot was lost before it ever began. Don teaches something different. Lock onto the target. Stay on the target. Trust the target. Because your eyes collect information your conscious mind never can. Speed, distance, angle, direction, everything. The best shooters aren't aiming better. They're seeing better. That's a massive difference. And once you understand that, everything changes. Rule number 2, stop thinking about hitting. This sounds crazy, but it's one of Don Currie's biggest lessons. Most shooters become obsessed with the result. Break the bird, break the bird, break the bird. And that pressure destroys performance, because your brain shifts from process to outcome. Now you're trying to force success instead of allowing success. Don teaches that great shooting comes from executing a process, not chasing a result. That's why elite shooters look calm, even under pressure, because they're not focused on breaking the target. They're focused on executing the plan. And when the process is right, the target usually disappears. This is a huge mental shift. Average shooters chase scores. Great shooters chase execution. And the funny thing is, the scores follow automatically. Rule number 3, movement must be efficient. One of Don Currie's core principles is movement, not speed, movement. Those are not the same thing. Most shooters believe faster equals better. Wrong. Fast movement usually creates panic. Panic creates mistakes. Mistakes create misses. Don teaches efficient movement. Movement that is controlled, balanced, connected, purposeful. Because every extra motion creates another chance to fail. Watch great shooters closely. They don't look explosive. They look smooth, almost effortless. That's because they eliminate wasted motion. Their body works as one unit. Their gun follows naturally. Nothing is forced. Nothing is rushed. Everything flows. And that's the secret. The target isn't beating them, because they're never fighting the target. Rule number 4, your plan matters more than your swing. Here's a truth most shooters never hear. Many misses happen before the target appears. Yes, before the target appears. Because the shooter never built a plan. Don Currie places enormous importance on pre-shot planning. Where will you first see the target? Where is your hold point? Where is your break point? How will you move? What is your strategy? Most shooters skip all this. They simply call pull, then hope something works. That's gambling, not shooting. Professionals don't hope. Professionals prepare. And preparation creates confidence. Because confidence isn't magic. Confidence is knowing exactly what you're about to do before the target even launches. Rule number 5. Consistency comes from routine. You know what's interesting? Most shooters can shoot great. For 5 minutes, for one station, for one round. The problem isn't greatness. The problem is repeating greatness. And that's where routine becomes powerful. Don teaches that consistency requires a repeatable pre-shot routine. The same mental process, the same preparation, the same commitment, again and again and again. Why? Because pressure attacks inconsistency. If your routine changes every station, your performance changes every station. But when your routine becomes automatic, your mind stays stable. Even when the competition gets intense, even when you miss, even when the score matters. Routine becomes your anchor, and anchors stop panic. Rule number 6. The real battle is mental. Most shooters think they're fighting targets. Don Currie believes they're fighting themselves. Think about it. The target doesn't care. The target isn't judging you. The target isn't creating pressure. You are. Your thoughts, your doubts, your fear, your expectations. That's the real opponent. And this is why some shooters collapse after one miss. One mistake becomes 2. 2 becomes 5. 5 becomes a disaster. Not because their skill disappeared, because their mindset disappeared. Don teaches that every target deserves a fresh start. No baggage, no history, no emotional weight, just the next shot. That's how champions think. And that's why champions recover faster. Rule number 7. Faith is the final piece. This might be Don Currie's most important lesson. Faith, not religious faith, shooting faith, trust, because eventually you must pull the trigger. And when that moment arrives, thinking must stop. Analysis must stop. Doubt must stop. You have to trust. Trust your eyes. Trust your movement. Trust your preparation. Trust your system. Most shooters sabotage themselves right here. Everything was perfect. Then they interfere. One last correction. One last thought. One last hesitation. Miss? Don teaches something powerful. Build the shot, then allow the shot. That's where true confidence lives. Not in certainty, but in trust. Final thoughts. Why Don Currie's system works. Most shooting advice focuses on lead, speed, tricks, gadgets, quick fixes. Don Currie's system focuses on something deeper. Vision, planning, movement, routine, trust. That's why his students improve so quickly. Because he isn't teaching random techniques, he's teaching a complete framework. A way to think, a way to prepare, a way to perform. And once that framework becomes part of you, something incredible happens. You stop guessing, you stop chasing, you stop forcing, and for the first time, you start controlling the shot. Not occasionally, not when you're lucky, but consistently. Because great shooting isn't built on talent. It's built on systems. And few coaches have taught that lesson better than Don Currie. Focus, movement, faith. Master those 3 things, and you'll never look at shooting the same way again. If this video changed how you think about shooting, hit like, subscribe, because most shooters keep chasing targets. But champions learn how to control them. And before you go, drop a comment below. What's the biggest thing holding your shooting back right now? Focus, movement, confidence, or trust? Until next time, stay focused, trust your process, and start breaking targets like a pro.